There are moments in life that you can't explain, no matter how hard you try. Moments that stay with you long after they're gone. This is one of those moments. Essie was known in Accra for one thing, her kindness. Not the kind people talk about just to impress others, but a deep, quiet kindness that came from her heart. She was the kind of woman who would give her last money to someone in need, even if it meant she would go to bed hungry. If someone was struggling, Iezi would show up. If someone cried, she would comfort them. If someone needed help, she never turned away. But life was not always kind to Isi. The same people she helped often paid her back with wickedness. Some used her generosity. Some spoke badly about her behind her back. Others took what she gave and never looked back. Not that Essie expected anything in return, she didn't. But sometimes, in quiet moments, it hurt. It made her wonder if kindness really mattered in a world like this. Still, she never changed. One evening, after a long and exhausting day at work, Essie was heading home. The sun was setting over Accra, casting a warm orange glow across the road. The city was slowly quieting down, and all she could think about was getting home, resting, and finding a little peace after the stress of the day. As she drove, everything seemed normal at first. The road stretched ahead calmly, and the air felt still. But then, something changed. Her car didn't feel right. At first, she ignored it, thinking maybe it was just the road. But then she heard it, a slow, heavy, dragging sound. Her grip tightened on the steering wheel. Her heart skipped. Something was wrong. She slowed down and carefully pulled over to the side of the road. Stepping out of the car, she walked around and checked the tires. Flat. Completely flat. For a moment, she just stood there staring at it, her mind trying to process what to do next. There were no nearby mechanics, no open shops, no familiar faces, just a quiet roadside in the fading light of evening. Isi looked around. Nothing. A few cars passed by in the distance, but none stopped. The silence around her felt heavy. She folded her arms slightly, trying to think. She had helped so many people before. So many. And now, standing there alone, a small thought crossed her mind. Is there no one to help me too? She didn't say it out loud, but she felt it. Minutes passed. The sky grew darker. Streetlights flickered on. And then, something strange happened. Out of nowhere, 3 men appeared, not walking from far away, not approaching from a distance. They were just there, standing calmly, not too far from her car. Essie blinked, confused. She hadn't seen them coming. Before she could even speak, the men began walking toward her car. There was no hesitation in their steps, no uncertainty. And then she noticed something that made her heart beat faster. They were carrying tools, not just any tools, but exactly what was needed to fix her tire. It was as if they already knew what the problem was. Isi stood still, watching them. They didn't ask many questions. They didn't seem surprised. They simply got to work. One of them knelt beside the tire. Another arranged the tools. The third stood calmly, observing and assisting where needed. Their movements were smooth, precise, almost perfect. They barely spoke to each other, and yet everything they did was in complete understanding. Essie felt a strange calmness come over her. The tension she had been holding slowly faded. She couldn't explain it, but being around them felt peaceful. Time passed, though it didn't feel like it. Within a short while, the tire was fixed. Perfectly. Essie let out a breath she didn't realize she had been holding. Relief washed over her. She reached into her bag, bringing out money, ready to thank them for their help. But before she could say anything, they smiled. A quiet, knowing smile. They looked at each other briefly, then back at her, and one of them spoke. "We came to help you." Essie paused. Something about those words felt deeper than they sounded. She opened her mouth to respond, to thank them properly, but before she could, they turned and began to walk away. Essie watched them, still holding the money in her hand. And then, within moments, they were gone. Not far away, not turning a corner, just gone. The road was empty again. Silent. Like nothing had happened, Essie stood there, her heart beating slowly, her mind racing with questions. She looked around, searching for any sign of them. Nothing. No footsteps. No sound. No trace. She slowly lowered her hand, still holding the money she never got to give. A strange realization settled in her heart. Those men were not ordinary. She got back into her car, closed the door gently, and sat there for a moment. The quiet inside the car felt different now. Not heavy, but full. She started the engine and drove off into the night. But she was not the same. As she drove through the streets of Accra, one thought stayed with her. After all the times she had helped others, without expecting anything in return, help had finally come back to her, in a way she could never explain. And in that moment, Essie understood something deeply. Kindness is never wasted. Even when it feels like no one sees it, someone does. And sometimes, when you need it the most, it finds its way back to you in ways beyond human understanding.